What's up with you? It's cheap content. Nikki G. I gave the robot the week off because it's too much work to do the editing. I'm jumping right into it. Mickey 17.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if you were thinking at this point, what have I done? Nothing was working out, and I wanted to get off of Earth. They made me work my ass off on one mission after another.
Every time you die, we learn something new, and humanity moves forward.
Oh, wait, he's alive.
It's fine. Even on my 17th go-around, I hate dying.
Bong Joon-ho. Big fan. Love Parasite. Love his previous work. But what type of accent? What type of accent would you call that Robert Pattinson is doing? That accent is an imitation of a 1940s, 30s Cagney gangster style city dwelling. That's not a real accent. We can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing this as an actor. I can't watch. So everyone that worked on that movie was fine with Robert Pattinson's silly accent. That would be like, or here's a great for instance. That would be like if I was in a British picture and I did a straight up silly Cockney. If I was like, "Oi, governor, can I get 2p to go down to this store?" Like if I talk like that, that's how he sounds. That is the equivalent. That is literally the equivalent of how he sounds in this trailer. If I was in like a fucking prestige Apple, iTunes, Netflix British show and I was like, "Oi, Bobbit, would you like to come down to the telly back in Rocket Town?" That's what I would be sounding like. Right, is rain. Oi, by the way, would you mind if I got 2p to go to the store to pick up a nice fat goose? That's how he's sounding. He's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm Mickey 17. It's the 100 years in the future, but I grew up in Brooklyn I grew up in a movie that was shot in Brooklyn in 1942. Like him and fucking Tom Hardy. It's like, dude, can we stop? Tom Hardy and Venom's like, "Hey, I'm Venom. I'm a guy. I'm just a guy I got the Venom in me. And now I'm a real streetwise, street tough. I live in San Francisco, but I picked up this New York accent." Stop it. We're not doing it anymore. All right, Emperor's New Clothes. I'm not going to have everyone telling me Robert Pattinson killed it because Bong Joon-ho is going to kill it, my guy. The movie's going to be excellent. It's a great concept. I'm in. I'm bought. I love it. The concept of cloning and using your clone to do hazardous jobs and to start all of that, yes, I'm here for that. But the fact that I'm going to have to hear people say that this kid, who one is a terrible actor, one note, mopey, terrible actor, does the same shtick. And I'm going to have to hear that this is now a brilliant performance, that this is some genius performance. I mean, that would be like if I did a movie and I'm running around and now like it doesn't take place in England now, right? Because this movie takes place like in the future where that type of dialogue, that colloquial dialogue of a city dwelling street tough wouldn't exist in a future. In this type of future that they're detailing. I'm running around the future and if I was just like, "Hey, I have some ideas for the voice of this character. I know we're in the future. I know it's like I'm a weird disposable worker, but what if I play the scene like this? Oi, I woke up and I felt myself being kind of strange. Why would I go and put myself through all this? Sometimes it hurts, but sometimes it don't. And sometimes when I'm re-arrived, I live up and I burn up in the furnace." Like, stop. That's it. Redub all the lines. But if I swear, if I hear you guys say, if I gotta watch a clip from the Oscars of him accepting an Oscar and people saying there's no truth. There is no truth in cinema. All right. Well, it's like Batman Day's coming up soon. I'm gonna put this book away. Reading's stupid. Batman Day's coming up, so I guess we'll stay on Robert Pattinson a little bit. Again, most one note Bruce Wayne, or know my feelings on that. I watched the Penguin trailer. This doesn't look great. I'm just gonna say it. Does not look great. Again. Here's Colin Farrell doing a mobster from the 40s. These don't exist. People don't sound like this anymore. And here's the thing that burns me the most is these are all taken from Italian-American immigrant dialects. That's the street tough, the street wise, the dummy sounding. Yeah, see, gangster guy. That's from fucking Italian-Americans. So now when you got Colin Farrell, another soft dude, snowflake, you're as soft as a pillow, my guy, running around as Oz Cobblepot. Hey, yo, what are you doing? I'm Ozzy Cobblepot. I'm a street tough gangster in a modern 2024 Gotham. I went to a boarding school that happened to specialize in 1940s dialects. Stop it. You're an embarrassment. It's embarrassing. Then you got Oz, who's covered in prosthetics and scars and gritty to gritty penguin. And then his sidekick is like the most fresh-faced black kid I ever seen. I'm like, what? In what world? Dude's wearing a gray indescript hoodie, face pristine, buffed, polished. Hair immaculate, like he just left the barber in every scene. Oz is like, bleh. I'm like, what? They don't even exist in the same stratosphere, let alone the same scene, the same city. And this is what I'm assuming it's a little prequel, sequel. You get to see Oz's wife, which actually I think that casting does work. That does make sense for it. But is this after the city was flooded and running amok? So we're going to believe that like Batman disappeared in this show? Also, it just doesn't look good. The visual style, the cinematic quality of the image does not look good. I don't know. I'm on the fence whether or not I'm going to watch it, but I'm assuming it's going to be a prequel and then post events of the Batman. So how are they going to make that work? I went to high school with the girl who plays the lead in it. She's pretty famous now. I think she was like a few years younger than me. Same Christina Milioti. Yeah. See on Wolf of Wall Street. She does. They make her do just like Italian lady stuff. Do Italian lady stuff. Oh, we're all street tough. First off, I grew up in South Philadelphia in an Italian-American neighborhood where there were gangsters and other people doing shit. And we didn't talk like that. And I was like the last generation to really see it firsthand. Before the internet age, before all that. Like the real old school dudes that like didn't have a job walking around the neighborhood type. People going to jail for 10 years type shit. This is all off base. This is all fiction. It's all fairy tales written by guys that were taught by writers who were taught by writers. No one's lived this. No one's seen this. Batman Day coming up. We're celebrating the Bat. Got the Bat in the cut. Does anybody care about Matt Reeves, the Batman too? The Batman already seems so dated. I was looking at like a prestige format statue of the Robert Pattinson Batman, and I was like, I already feel like, okay, what's new? What's next? You know, I think James Gunn needs I can kind of put his foot down and be like, no, this is Batman and this is what we're doing with Batman. I'd like to see something way more futuristic. How does a young Bruce Wayne deal with trauma in a futuristic world that's overrun by corrupt bureaucracy and technocracy? And that's what he's fighting against. That, to me, that is the updated Batman. How does someone who is independently wealthy, inherits wealth, sees their parents get murdered, sees like the failings of bureaucracy, because newsflash, guys, that's what Batman is. It's the failings of bureaucracy and the corruption of bureaucracy. So what's that in the modern age? Censorship, right? Big Brother, spying on people, concentration of power in unelected officials. That's the Batman story I want to see. And I think that's what they should be doing. I mean, James Gunn won't do that. You know, he's going very comic booky with Superman, which I'm also all right with. I'm like, yeah, let's go comic booky. Let's embrace this. People need levity. They need entertainment. They need enjoyment. So let's do that. But if you're talking about rebooting Batman, going forward with Batman, I know the DC All-In comics coming out. I'm very excited to check out this version, this big beefy Batman. To me, it ain't it. What would be the motivations of a young man who sees his parents murdered with his own independent wealth and the ability to combat what he sees as crime, villainy, corruption? So I think there's some really cool futuristic ways of approaching that, and not the way Batman Beyond did it, because Batman Beyond took late 20th century's ideals and just used a future aesthetic. But now that we know what the future is becoming, AI, AR, virtual reality, deep fakes, manipulation of information, the control of information, the censorship of dissenting views, the conglomeration of power and unelected officials. That's the future. That's what I want to see a Batman story told on. Coming up, I worked on a big project this past week. It was a lot of fun. Can't really talk about it. Got to work with the crew, and that's always fun in a big capacity. Some old faces, some new faces, just out there running around, shooting, doing director of photography work. So that's always a lot of fun when you're out there doing it. I had a hard drive crash. Whoopsie depths. Firmware got corrupted. So some of the projects I was working on are getting slowed down a little bit. But I am planning to shoot Tales from Hollywood, the producer, very soon. And that will be VR. And here's my goal. I'm going to shoot it in a way where I can cut it twice. So there will be the VR version, and then there will be more of the traditional short film version. I think that's the happy medium right now until these technologies get embraced. But big VR, AR announcements, Snapchat Spectacles, those look pretty cool. Very high resolution. I'm wondering if they're doing full screen video on those or if it's just augmented reality. HTC Vive, standalone unit. Very stoked for that. Like that's a direct competitor with MetaQuest. Probably better because Vive has been doing gaming in VR before MetaQuest and Oculus. Very encouraging. There's cheap content. A little bit bite. A little bite to it this week, huh? A little bit of a bite. Let me know if you missed the robot.